Welcome everybody to another episode of Pages from Rock Bottom. I'm Matt. This is my wife Kim. Tonight we are joined by Tedara Huber.
Ooh, Tedara. Listen, we had to make sure we were saying her name correctly, but tonight we want to say trigger warning. This episode contains discussion of addiction, homelessness, child separation, theft, trauma, and emotional hardship. Listener discretion is advised.
And profanity.
And I always leave out profanity.
I'll do my best.
It's okay. You can cuss. We just have to give the trigger warning.
Come as you are.
As you are. All right, Tedara, tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Tedara. I'm originally from Nelsonville. I've lived in Athens the last 6 years since I got sober. My sobriety date is January 17th, 2020.
Yay.
That's about it. I'm a mom, a wife, a daughter today, a productive member of society.
I'm a mom.
That's right.
I'm not sure. Sometimes I question how good of a mom, but
we show up. That's what matters.
Yeah. Definitely test my momlyhood.
Right.
Yeah. Let's just say it like that. Yeah.
It's not easy.
It is not. It's not. It isn't. Being a mother, I wish it would have came with a handbook or something, or probably even for dads. I'm just gonna say that, guys.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to steal your thunder. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, motherhood is hard.
Being a parent in general is. I thought my parents were crazy growing up.
Yes.
And stupid and dumb and didn't know nothing.
Yeah, and my mom always used to say that to me too. I can't wait until you grow up and have a daughter who acts just like you.
Yep, I got a 16-year-old that does, so I completely understand.
There you go.
Yep.
She doesn't look anything like me, but she acts just like me.
Yeah,
for sure.
There you go. All right, enough about our lovely children and motherhood. Tedara, take us back. Take us back where it all started for you.
All right. So, like I said, I'm from Nelsonville. My parents did the best they could. And I'll get to that. I was 3 when they separated. So I don't remember a lot of when they were together, obviously. Earliest back I can remember is about 5 years old. I lived with my dad for the most part. I was his only child that I knew of. I think I had a sister. I'm not 100% sure on that. He can correct me later if he listens to this. I don't know. So anyway, and I have a sister with my mom, and I'll get to that as well. So about age 5 or 6, is when the custody battle started, and it really wasn't a custody battle because my mom never showed up really. They did the whole shared parenting thing where I would stay this many days with one. And, but, so my dad worked, always had a house, all that. My mom's home, there was a lot of domestic violence, with every man she was with. So, I didn't see, now I look back and see the disease. I didn't then, obviously, because I was young. And I also can look back at a lot of the part I played, the protector, and it got me in a lot of situations from the age of 5 to 12, trying to protect my mom and hitting these men and with frying pans and burning them with cigarettes, and, just all these things because, you couldn't go to sleep without the door getting kicked in or just crazy things because they drank all the time, and they may have done other things. I'm not sure. I know they drank every day. So my dad drank, but he always had a job. He was at all my softball games growing up. So, I look back now and I see alcoholism, because I've been there now. So, just going back and forth. And, there came a time when dad was like, you can't go back over there. It's not safe. So, and I think, I don't know that I got resentful then, but, I didn't understand. I was young. And, a girl wants a relationship with their mother. So, and like I said, I have a sister, and I think I was about 11 before I can even have a memory with my sister. She was in and out of, rehab, juvenile detention centers. My mom had her when she was 15, so I can imagine how rough it was,
Yeah.
So, she had her own issues. So at age 11, I get my sister, and she is, I want to say 10 years older than me, roughly. So I'm 11, she's 20, 21. So, when you have been wanting this relationship, I wanted to be a part of. So I would go to her house in Columbus and stay for the summers and on the weekends. And, she became like a mom figure to me. And I started doing the things that she was doing,
Yep.
going to the clubs at, 13, 14 years old, older men waking up and not knowing what was going on or how I got there, or, and it started with weed and alcohol, in middle school. I remember drinking to blackouts in middle school, going to school with hangovers. My dad, I used to always say he was very protective and I was sheltered. But today I can tell you, I wish I could just be a little part of a parent like that now that I'm a parent.
Yeah.
He raised me, he was a Marine. So he raised me with respect, values, morals, I went to school, played sports, all those things, that I was supposed to do. Never whipped my butt, which I probably should have had it.
Yeah.
But he punished me in ways of, taking things away from me. I wasn't allowed to do things. And that's something I struggle with today as a parent, So, those things were taught to me when they were supposed to be taught to me. And, I used to blame my rebelliousness on because of that. Like, that's why I acted out, because I wasn't allowed to do this, this, and this when I was younger, or, things like that. So I know that today. I didn't know that then. So, about the age of 11 or 12, like I said, I started, running with, and I always hung out with older people, older cousins, my sister. So we know what comes with that crowd. When you're 12 and 13, you're not supposed to be with 20-year-old people. They're doing things they're allowed to do, So, so, and then, like I said, I got really close with my sister, over the next couple years. And 2005, I was 15. She died of a fentanyl overdose.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She was prescribed it. She had like 5 different pain doctors at the time, because back then everything was easy to get. And looking back, I think that was my first resentment I can remember, and it was toward God.
Yeah.
I didn't understand, because I had just gotten this relationship and then it was taken. I was 15, I had no clue.
Yeah.
I had no idea. She had 3-year-old twin daughters that she left behind, which, today I talk to them and stuff, but during my active addiction, nothing mattered,
Yeah.
So those relationships were, and I'm sure they have a lot of unresolved stuff toward our family too, and they have the right to, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I met my kids' dad when I was about probably really 13, but we got together when we were 15 and 14. We were best friends, things were good. All he did was smoke weed. And at that time I'm staying, overnight at his house and telling my dad I'm at my mom's, because they don't talk to each other. My mom and dad don't talk. So I can just say I'm doing this. Mom lets me do whatever. So, and sorry if you're listening to this, because you're going to hear a lot of stuff you probably don't know. But that's okay.
Yes.
He knows I'm honest and transparent today. his mouth drops a lot of times when I talk to him still. So
Yeah.
and that's all right. But I've learned to be honest today, you know.
Yeah.
So it does. That's what keeps us sick, is when we don't let it out. So you know, I go over to his house, and my kids' dad, his parents are alcoholics as well. His dad had already died when he was 11. So you know, we have a lot of the same family stuff, and I got pregnant at 16 years old. Thank God I had a miscarriage, because you know, I didn't know how to. I was a kid myself. He was on probation already, like, you know. So you know, I don't know, by the age of probably 17 or 18, you know, I had started doing pain pills with his mom. He was still smoking weed at the time. He had walked in and seen me doing it, and of course, you know, we both started doing them. So I kind of introduced him to that. And you know, it was slowly, you know, we were doing them here and there, and I started getting surgeries just to get pain pills. Literally, like, I was getting, you know, I had a knee surgery. 6 weeks later, had another knee surgery. 6 weeks later, had an ankle surgery. He also had surgery.
Yeah.
I mean,
surgeries.
his mom was having surgeries. Like, we were just meeting in the clinic in the same office room and getting our prescriptions. And you know, I'm 18 years old, and I'm getting scripts of painkillers, you know, by the handfuls. You know, and so when you're taking them, like most of us know, and you quit getting them, guess what happens? You know. So you know, obviously we started buying higher, you know, 30s and all that off the street. You know, and when my sister died, I swore I'd never do drugs. You know, I had done a little bit of cocaine with her and drank, but I was never going to do drugs, because that's what killed my sister. But what I didn't know is I was an addict, you know. I had a disease, and I didn't know that. So, you know, and then, you know, found out about Suboxone, which we weren't prescribed it. And I was taking it to get high. I wasn't taking it for what I really needed it for later on, that I found out. So, you know, it was the pain pills and Suboxone, and I couldn't do one without the other, and, you know, all these things. And, you know, by that time, alcohol was kind of out of the picture, but if I didn't have those things, I would drink alcohol and smoke weed. Pretty much by the age of 2021, you know, crack cocaine was in the picture, and it's expensive as shit. So, you know, all the things that come with that. And, you know, I always say, like, I wasn't addicted to the lifestyle, because I always stayed at home. But I can tell you that I was a miserable person to my kids' dad until he went and did what he had to do to get it, to bring it back, you know. So I was just as guilty. And, you know, I only know that today by, you know, I am in a 12-step fellowship. So by working the steps and stuff, you know, I know that today. So, you know, after somebody introduced us, like, oh, here's some meth, it's cheaper, you know. And, you know, it was cheaper, but I will tell you, that drug took my soul. Like, that drug was, you know, it turned us both into people we didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, drugs change people. That drug especially, it literally, like, I don't even know, real fast. Real fast. Like, it didn't just take all the material things, it took my soul. It really did.
I've heard that,
you know,
before.
For sure. You know, and I had my daughter, I'll backtrack. I was 3 months pregnant with my daughter when I graduated high school. Was going to school for nursing at Hawking College. Couldn't be a mom and go to school and doing all this other stuff too. So, you know, school went out the window. You know, the most important things go out the window, and you got other things to do. So, you know, I'm trying to be a mom, not so much on stuff hard at the time. You know, we moved out on our own when we were like 18 or 19. His mom me and her got really close. She had passed away when when he was 19. So, you know, we had his grandparents and stuff like that, which I'll get to. And my mom had passed away 6 months after his mom.
Oh.
So just a lot of stuff, you know, that we were able to use as an excuse.
Yeah.
You know, or I did anyway. Sorry. I did. And then, you know, it progressed like it does. You know, we, you know, would lose the house or couldn't pay our bills. I couldn't keep a job, you know, because what come with, you know, all this stuff was, you know, jealousy, control, you know, all those things. I'm working on it, but very codependent relationship is what it ended up being.
Yeah.
I depended on him for everything. Like from the minute we started doing drugs till he paid the bills, he did that, you know, all through. We
How
were
you
together.
felt that day?
Huh?
Even how you felt that day?
Yeah.
Same,
Absolutely.
Same.
Because if he didn't have what I needed, I was an asshole.
Yeah.
So, and I was gonna take it out on him or anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I do.
yeah, so it, you know, it was good in the beginning, and you know, today we have a great relationship for our kids, which is good. You know, but it just went downhill really fast. You know, I don't know how many houses his grandparents paid deposits on, and we just never paid the bills. You know, we just kept getting pulled over for driving with no license. He would go to jail, just on it, you know, the whole cycle.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes with our kids in the car. My son was born 5 years after my daughter. You know, and when he was, you know, there was a time they had guns drawn on our car, like, you know, and I always said there was a lot of yets, you know, I never done this or I never done that, or, you know, but I'm eligible too. Still to this day, I'm eligible, you know. For example, like heroin was one of those, like, I'll never do heroin. I looked down on people that did heroin. I looked down on people that used a needle, because that I wasn't going to get that bad. I will say I never did use a needle, but I can tell you today that if I didn't stop when I did, I would have used a needle because what I was doing wasn't working, you know? So, you know, I judge people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would judge people like they're worse off than I am. I'll never be homeless. I'll never put drugs ahead of my kids. I'll never, you know, and I did all those things. Those things. So when my son was 2, you know, I was involved with children's services by this time. My daughter wasn't going to school. I never even enrolled her in school. You know, and we went to the hospital for something and they asked her like, how's school? And she was like, school. I don't go to school at 5, you know? So that tells you how my daughter's 16 now. And that just tells you how my daughter is.
Yeah.
I love her. So yeah. So, you know, children's services were obviously knocking on the door the next morning. Like, oh, your kids don't go to school. But you know, the thing with that is, there were so many times they should have took my kids and they didn't. You know, no gas, no electricity, no water. You know, the back bedroom full of mold because the ceiling was leaking. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I only say that today because I've dealt with them in sobriety and I've told them that, like, you know, I don't have nothing to hide today. There was plenty of times y'all took my kids and didn't. I mean, by the grace of God, thank God, but, you know. So, you know, and with children's services, you know, they're like, oh, you know, let's go to rehab, go to detox, do all these things before they take your kids. So my first time going to detox was for them, wasn't for me. It was for them to get them off my back and to look good for them. And what I can tell you is I took Suboxone with me. I was not getting sober. I used it the whole 10 days I was there, and I told them before I left, like, I'm going to use when I get out. I'm getting back out onto the streets, homeless. Like, that's what I know. That's what I'm going to do. And that's exactly what I did. I might have stayed just on Suboxone for a couple of days, but off to the races. So, you know, they got tired of my bullshit, you know, like, which they had every right to. You know, I'm dragging 2 kids at this time, house to house, doing whatever. You know, my poor daughter, she remembers a lot of stuff that happened and seen a lot of stuff that happened that she shouldn't have. My
Yeah.
son, like I said, was a baby, so he, thank God, doesn't remember that I know of. He may come out and tell me something later. I don't know, but we'll deal with it when it comes.
Yeah.
You never know. My daughter tells me stuff and I'm like, I forgot about. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you know. So
Yeah.
because we bury that stuff so deep, we just stuff it, you know. There's so much stuff that is like, she'll say something and I'm like, holy shit, how do you remember? You were like 5. You know, and it's I'm glad because then we can talk about it, you know.
Yeah,
We can talk
absolutely.
about it. I'm very transparent with her. Because she's going through some of the same stuff, you know, so I'm
Yeah.
able to be today. So at the age of 2, you know, Children's Services had enough of my shit. They were going to take my kids. Thankfully, my kids' dad's grandparents, which I think were in their 70s at the time, took power of attorney of them. And, you know, I carried a lot of shame, guilt, and remorse around for that. Today I can say that and be okay with myself. You know, and I can help other people that are going through that because I've been there.
Yeah.
But looking back, like that was the best decision I could have ever done for my kids. You know, absolutely the best decision I could have ever done. And thank God they were willing to do it because they were they're 70 some years old, you know. Grandpa was a Vietnam veteran, health issues, like, so, you know, for the next 5 years, they're living there. And, you know, never once did they say we couldn't come and see our kids, you know. Obviously, don't show up shit-faced, like,
Yeah.
you know. But that was the problem. I couldn't stay clean to go visit my kids. You know, I would call on the phone once in a while, and my kids would cry. I didn't show up to court, so all my rights were taken. They got full custody of my kids. So for 5 years, they had full custody of both of my kids. And, you know, in my mind, I think, you know, I stopped calling, I stopped going to see them, I stopped even any kind of contact with them. Unless I needed something from grandma and grandpa, money, or I would call for those things. But so, you know, and I think, you know, I couldn't face it. You know what I mean? I just couldn't face it. I was living with this guilt and just sick of
Eating you
myself.
alive. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, because I grew up in a broken home and I always swore, like, you know, my kid, I would never do that. You know, it was another one of those things that would never happen to me. That'll never happen to my kid, you know? Like,
Yes.
this is God's world, not yours, buddy. You know, like, you know, and you don't put a question mark where God puts a period. I've learned that today. I've learned that a lot. Because I try to control things, you know, still today. And God shows up and says, not happening.
I
So,
feel
you know,
every word of that. Every word of that. Still try to control things.
I do. Oh my God, it's so bad.
And
So bad.
it eats me alive when I can't control a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the insanity comes and the chaos and the just crazy shit. Your whole house is tore apart. Like everybody's flipping out. Like
Everybody's got an attitude.
it's bad. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I'm still codependent to some degree. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I feed off her emotions.
I very much am still, like, very much so. And I'll get to it. Like, I've never been alone, you know, I've never been alone. So, you know, from 15 to 29, when I got sober, I was with my kids' dad.
Yeah.
16 years. You know, and like I said, it was both of us. It wasn't one-sided. It wasn't, drugs changed us. We didn't know who we were. We didn't know each other. And it was just toxic. You know, and so, you know, after those 5 years went on and we quit calling, we quit, we're homeless, robbing, doing all the stuff to support our habit. Like it got so bad, like we were staying in a camper and I'm peeping out of a little curtain hole. Couldn't even go outside. I was so paranoid because like people were jumping him every time we would leave the house. People were pulling guns, like because he was in the streets, I would stay wherever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's awful. Like that's awful that it had to come to that, and I was an asshole until he went and did it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's horrible. Like, I'm like, shit, that's horrible. What kind of person does that? And it's only by the grace of God that, I'm not in prison. I got caught stealing from Walmart when I worked there, and that's the only charge I have.
Oh, look at
and
you.
that's only by the grace of God, though. Like,
Yeah.
I should be in prison for the rest of my life if I would have got caught. That's the only reason. And here I thought like, oh, I'm getting away with this at Walmart. Like I'm getting away with it because it went on for 4 months. Nobody, they're building a case.
Yeah.
You ain't getting away with nothing. And thankfully it was a misdemeanor because I admitted to what they said I took.
Yeah.
It was so it was like $1,000. So it was a misdemeanor. And let me tell you, I went to jail 3 times on that one charge because I would run for months and months and months. I wouldn't go to court. I wouldn't, crazy shit. And I would sit in there over $100 bond. My baby dad would not get me out. So I got a resentment for that one too. Quite a few times. $100? I know you're out there making $100. Like, oh God. But listen, he sat in jail I don't know how many times. Like, I ain't going out there to make no money. Sorry. I'm scared.
I'm still peeping through the camper window.
Nope, not me. You better call your homies.
Yes.
Oh God. But yeah, like that was just the cycle. It and then like the depression, the anxiety, all the stuff. And that damn meth, buddy, I'm gonna tell you, for the last 5 years, that's mainly what it was. And I swore I'd never do heroin. I sure as hell smoked it when I couldn't find nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know somebody was like, "Here, taste this," and I smoked that shit clear across the room, and people were like, Pew. That is awful. God awful, man. Oh, Lord. But yeah, so, at the end, and that's why I say, I know, I was doing God awfully amounts and it wasn't doing nothing. So I know if I would have kept going, the needle was the only thing next to make it work. So I know for a fact, and so I went to that detox, got out, the next 5 years running, doing what we do. And I was going to HRS, Health Recovery Services here, just to get my Suboxone. That was the only reason I was going. And I had been going to like cash clinics and, paying to get scripts and paying my bills with that and doing what we do. Just so I could buy a car or pay the rent or, not be sick. Or somebody else was paying for it. Let's be real. I didn't have money to pay for no damn doctor visit. Till the DEA kicked the door in, and then we didn't get nothing that day. So, and it come to a point where I couldn't even go to my appointments to get my Suboxone. Like, I just couldn't show up. I'd be sick or I'd be too busy doing whatever. And thank God they were like, well, you ain't getting no medicine. And then one of my counselors had, told me about the treatment center I had went to here in Athens. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll go, no problem. Wasn't ready. Had a bed date, didn't go. Several times had a bed date and didn't go. And by then, like, obviously I knew I had a problem. No doubt about it. Like, I knew I had a problem, but I wasn't willing to do anything about it. Looking back, I wasn't ready. But it doesn't work until you're you do it, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody told me, you know, recovery is not for people that want it. It's not for people that need it. It's for people that do it. And that's,
Ooh.
you know, that's the God's honest truth. It really made me think like, oh, you know, because it's work. Like you have to
Yeah.
put the work in. You have to.
Every day.
Every
And-
day.
Yeah,
the
the
rest
rinse
of your
you every
life.
day. The rinse
Yes.
you every day. Ain't no doubt about it.
Yes.
Hey, for real. So I had went to I finally went and stayed with my kids for about, I don't know, my kids' dad was in and out of jail so many times I couldn't even count. So I don't even know if he was there, but anyway, I'd went and stayed up there for a couple days before I went to treatment. I was finally ready to do it. My daughter's birthday is January 13th. I went up there for her birthday and I went to treatment January 17th. And I can remember how desperate and hopeless I felt.
Ooh.
You know, and it was, you know, I always thought I had hit my bottom. Like when I lost my kids, I was homeless. Like, oh, this has got to be it. Like, this has got to be it. But, you know, there's a basement. There's always a basement. Rock bottom's got a basement.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was spiritually just done. There was nothing left inside of me. It's exhausting, dude. Good
It is.
Lord.
It is.
Shit. I'm exhausted today from work, but it feels a lot better than that.
Yes.
You know,
You
like,
make your own decisions at the
Oh,
end of your
Lord.
day.
Well, shit, I know
Yeah.
I'm going to bed. You know what I'm saying?
He knows when he gets home he's gonna have dinner. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Mine might not even have dinner. He might have to order something. I ain't joking. He did today, actually.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
But we have money to do that today.
Nice. These are, these
We
are all
have
the
money to
things.
order food.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, yeah, I went to treatment, you know, and I looked at it as like a vacation, you know.
Yeah.
I never really had friends or girls like my whole life, you know. It had
Yeah.
been me and my kids' dad and his friends, like, so that's what I looked at it as. What I can tell you today is I don't do well with females. Still to this day. Just because of a lot of shit that's, you know, come with addiction and cheating and lying and, you know, it's getting better. Obviously, I love all of my girls that I am in recovery with. But so went to treatment. It was like a 90-day program. I don't know. But I take me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Even though I was ready to go, I was still going for the wrong reason because this treatment center, I could still get my Suboxone at.
Oh.
Grandpa dropped me off with my clothes and left. And mind you, you know, Nelsonville to Athens is 15 minutes away. I could have left. I knew people 2 houses down from treatment center. Like I used to live on that street. I went in to see the doctor and the doctor told me I was not getting my Suboxone because I hadn't been going to my appointments regularly. And what I can tell you is it was not me saying that I was going to stay. That was definitely my higher power. Because Tedara would have been out the front door like, nope, sorry, gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't getting what I wanted. And I stayed. And that was the first time ever in my life that I was able to sit down with myself and not have to focus on anything. I didn't have to worry about nothing. I had a safe place to stay, food, you know, 17 other crazy girls, but it was what it was. You know what I mean? I didn't have nothing else to worry about but me.
Yeah.
And the next day, my kids' dad got arrested. And I said, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, damn, like, that's awful to say. And I said, no, it isn't, because I don't have to worry about him while I'm in here. He's safe. You know, he was safe.
Yeah.
You know, and that is awful to say, but when you're out doing what we're doing, like, it's any given moment. You're going to get shot.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. Like,
Something.
no doubt about it. So, you know, like I said, I take me everywhere I go. You know, there was things going on in there that I didn't use, but I participated in dumb stuff, peeing for girls and hiding piss bottles in the vents. And so about 35 or 40 days in. And plus it was the height of COVID. COVID had happened, right? January 2020 is when I went into treatment. I think I went to one outside meeting while I was there. They got shut down. And I'll get to that meeting here in a second. You guys can laugh about that. You know, but I had started being able to, you know, there was a counselor, you know, all those things. And I started to be able to do things, calling my kids, talking to my kids. You know, they were, I don't even know how old at the time, 5 and 7 when they went to live with their great grandparents. You know, so I started, you know, the 2 times a week calling my kids, all those things. Then they, you know, had a meeting about what they were going to do with me because of what I was doing. Because, you know, I was there willingly, and the other girls obviously got like probation violations and went back to jail. They couldn't really do that with me. So their idea was to send me somewhere else. And I wasn't having it. Nope. So I called grandma, grandpa, and lied and said, I completed treatment. Can you come and pick me up?
Yeah.
And they came and picked me up. But what I can tell you is, I stayed sober. Well, I stayed dry. I'll get to that. I stayed dry. You know, so I went back and I stayed at grandma and grandpa's. They let me stay there after all the stuff that I've done. You know, they welcomed me back into their home with open arms. And mind you, these are not my grandparents. These are my kids' dad's grandparents. They love me just still to this day like I'm their own. And they always have. They always have. And we have the greatest relationship today, you know. But they let me come back and stay, and I stayed up there with my kids. 3 days after I got out of treatment, the kids' dad cut his ankle monitor off and relapsed. So he went back to jail, obviously. But so while he's in jail, I reach out to Travis that I met in my first meeting, the only meeting I went to when I was in treatment. You know, and my first thought was like, oh, you know, we can fix each other. It's going to be great, you know? It's going to be great. Because at that time, Travis had, I don't know how much sobriety, but he had more sobriety than I did at that time. So, you know, everything comes to light. So I'm, you know, talking to my kids' dad in jail. I'm talking to Travis. He's living with another woman. I'm sending him money for whatever, because he's still using and drinking or whatever. And so I'm dry. Like, I'm dumb as shit, codependent. Yeah. You know, and I'm living in my kids' dad's grandparents' home doing all this stuff. You know, and this thing up here starts going 100 mile an hour. And I start thinking about, you know, using and all these things. And what I can tell you is I reached out to HRS and I got on Vivitrol instantly. I knew that I could not get back on Suboxone because I knew what would happen. Like, I knew. Yeah. I was not about to withdraw off them again, detox off them again at all. I still have issues 6 years later from them damn things. I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Restless legs. Nope.
Thank you, Jesus. So, I could never do them.
I know. No. So I got on Vivitrol, and because I was like, I would sit there like trying to play with my kids and stuff, you know, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And all I can think about was using. And I was like, man, this is going to end up really bad. So that's what I did. I got on Vivitrol and, so, you know, all this stuff I'm doing, you know, I'm dry, I'm miserable. All these behaviors are still here. I'm not in recovery. And all of it come to a head, you know. Travis left this girl's house he was living with and sent out a bunch of pictures to about 160 people of me, including the grandparents. So they found out about Travis. So, you know, and of course, what do? I run. I ain't dealing with nobody, nothing. I don't want to talk about it. And, you know, it was my fault. I was participating in shit I shouldn't have been participating in. Yeah. I went and lived with my dad for a little while. And, you know, my dad drank. My stepmom was on all kinds of pain medication. at the time. Because it was, I don't know, about a year before she had passed away. And so I'm living in this house, alcohol, every pain pill you can think of, you know, and it's miserable. It's not their fault, you know, it's not their fault at
Right.
all. You know, so I'm literally going to work and I'm sitting in my room when I'm not at work. And that's what I did for about 5 months. It was miserable. I mean, looking back, like that's when I was like, man, thank God. You know,
Yeah.
it was definitely a higher power because I couldn't have did that shit on my own. I know for a fact at all, you know, because I did some dirty stuff to my stepmom too, you know. I've tried to make amends to my dad about it because she's passed away, but he still blames my kids' dad for it. So, you know, I'm like, okay, well, it is what it is. I've done my part. There's nothing more I can do, you know. And it was both of us. There's not one person that you know, we both did the drugs. We both did the, you know, that's how I look at all of it. So, you know, I go there and I stay. I get a job at the same job I have today. I got hired at Dollar General as a cashier with a theft charge, mind you. And I can tell you today, as a store manager of the same store I got hired in, we don't hire anybody with even misdemeanors. I have to turn people away with less charges than what I have. And it feels pretty shitty. It does. It feels pretty shitty. But what I can tell you is when I applied, you know, I literally wrote out like this whole big old spiel of, you know, like I'm in recovery, like, you know, da 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 da. And I think that's probably what helped. I was honest, and everybody there knows. Like everybody in the world that knows me knows, because I don't keep quiet about it. So I get a job there. So all I'm doing is going to work, coming home, sitting in my room, you know, talking to Travis. So like I said, I left my kid. I didn't even tell my kids that I was leaving him when he was in jail. I just disappeared. And that was not okay. You know what I mean? I still owe him an amends for that. That was pretty shitty. 16 years and just up and leave, you know?
Yeah.
But I knew if I didn't do it, then I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I definitely wouldn't. And, you know, and I say this, and I don't say it to be mean, but that was God doing for me what I couldn't do for myself.
Yeah.
When he went to jail. Because I knew, you know, 16 years just of all that, like I knew I would stay. And it would not have been good for either one of us or our kids. You know, because we would be like, oh, if you go to rehab, I'll go to rehab. If you do this, you know, stupid ass cycle of shit. And what would happen is I would go to rehab and he wouldn't. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's time. So anyway, so, you know, then I'm at my dad's for a while. Travis ends up, you know, leaving that lady's house he was living with and goes back to the sober living house that he was at. And, well, I think he OD'd and stuff before that. But anyway, he got back in the sober living house. So him and my brother had gotten into it. And so, you know, I run again. I go stay at a hotel. I'm about 10 months sober at the time. I just go stay at the hotel. Like, it's fine. I don't even have a vehicle. I don't have a place to live. It's fine. I'm just going to go stay at the hotel. I'll like ride a bicycle or something to work. It's just down the highway, you know. I don't even have a bicycle. I don't even have a bicycle. I'm just going to walk, you know. It's fine. But for the first year, I didn't have a vehicle. I didn't have a license, you know, and we're living right. So, you know, we're not going to drive illegally. But I can tell you, I paid people gas money to take me to work, pick me up. Because, you know, when you start doing the right thing, people will show up for you, you know. They did for me anyway. And most of the people that showed up for me were the people that I hurt, you know. Yeah. So you know, and then of course, you know, Travis is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave the sober living house and come to the hotel too, right? That's fine. So, you know, we're living in the hotel together. So I had reached out to a lady we knew, and she had an apartment for rent, and we signed the lease. We moved in. I was about a year sober at the time. And so he had less time than me this time because he had relapsed. But we move in and my kids are still at their grandparents, and my daughter is getting, violent with grandma and just going through things, and they can't handle her no more. So she was 11, I think 11 at the time. And they just brought her to me, and I'm like, oh shit, like reality hit.
Yeah.
And mind you, at 90 days sober, I was at the courthouse, and like I said before, they never once denied us to visit our kids. They never once told us we couldn't talk to them. You know what I mean? None of that. And I was down at the courthouse, like demanding visitation at 90 days sober. And the judge was like, so what? You're 90 days sober. So what? Like, where have you been for 5 years? And they're right. Like, what was I going to do with these kids? I didn't have a house, a car, like 2 months into a job. I had my actions weren't there. And I'm demanding these kids back. Like, what the hell was I thinking? I wasn't, clearly. I look back at that now, like, what the hell?
That's just our fucked up minds of that instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I deserve all this back. Yeah. Because I'm 3 months sober. Like, woohoo, look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like I said, I was about, I don't know. Anyway, before that, when I'm living with my dad, Travis is, when he was still living with that lady, and drinking, he's like, yeah, you need to be going to meetings and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, who are you? Like, who are you?
What are you doing?
And, I have such bad anxiety. Like for even today, like sometimes it's bad when I go to meetings and stuff. So I literally was drugged to meetings, kicking and screaming, did not want to go, didn't need to do it, didn't want to, yada, yada, yada.
Not for me. Yeah.
Right. Like I'm sober. I'm not using drugs and alcohol. I'm fine. Like what do people want from me? Like, but really I was still an asshole, and nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yes.
I was not putting any action into being a better person. I was not, doing what I needed to do. And I can tell you, just by quitting drinking and doing drugs, it's a miserable place to be.
It is.
It's pure hell.
Yep.
So I was about probably a year dry when I finally crawled into a 12-step fellowship, and I still thought then people were crazy. I was like, they were happy, they were laughing.
Nobody is fucking happy.
Yeah, I was like, this place ain't for me.
Yeah.
Like, no,
we're people.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good, and that's what I would do. I would sit around the meetings and just like try to find ways and reasons why I didn't need to be there. And I did that for quite a while. And I'd finally got me a sponsor, and she took me through the steps, and it's been great. Backtrack though, I did forget. So, they dropped my daughter off at our doorstep. And I literally was like, because Travis doesn't have any kids of his own. And I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, because even when I was a mom, like I wasn't a mom, I wasn't present.
Yeah.
Like I was never in the right state of mind. I didn't know how to be a parent, let alone sober.
Yeah.
Like shit. And I used to say, like, I never neglected my kids, and well, where was you at? Like when they're watching cartoons, like where was you at? In the bathroom? Like, my daughter will tell you, like at 5 years old, she was boiling water on the gas stove to do the dishes, to cook her little brother something to eat. Like, and here I am talking about I never neglected my kids, and I, ain't no 5-year-old should be doing that stuff.
Nope. At all.
No, especially a gas stove. Like, come on, shit. Good Lord. So my daughter had to grow up quick. And boy, she's 16 going on 30 today. Let me tell you.
I have a 9-year-old that's going on 30 today.
Yeah. Yep. Love her to death. Boy, golly. Woo.
Yeah.
So she comes and with all of her stuff and moves in, and I hadn't even, they still have full custody at this time. I don't know how long after we all went down to the courthouse and they signed full custody back of my daughter to me. My son still lives there. He's 12. He loves it there, and why would I up and make him move from what he knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would never
feel
do that. And I would be
Yeah.
selfish to do that. Like, there's no doubt about it. I can see him when I want. He comes and stays all night when he wants. Like,
Yeah.
During school, it sucks because I don't get to see him as much with work and all that. But, we FaceTime and we call and, he's only 15, 20 minutes away. So, but so anyway, yeah. So we get her back and boy, golly, it's been a ride. But she, she has a lot of mental health, which, why wouldn't she? She's got her own journey she's on right now. And I get to be present though. I get to be a present mom today in my kids' life. And that's more than I could ever ask for. I get to, even though, I'm still mom, so my experience doesn't really matter most times. Like, I've been there, but I'm still don't know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
So, and we were talking about control earlier. I spent the first year trying to control her because I didn't want her to be like me.
Ooh.
I didn't want her to be like me, so I tried to control every single thing about her. And I can tell you, it was pure chaos and insanity. All it caused was us to have a horrible relationship, worse than it was. Like, to the point we wanted to fist fight, like, like it was horrible. And, through the fellowship and, sponsorship and things like that, I've learned to just step back and let her be. She's not going to learn. She's not going to learn, just like I didn't learn until I fell down and, and she's had a lot of fallen downs, but she gets back up and, I get to be there for that. I get to be there and be supportive to her through all this stuff. She's got her own legal stuff going on too already. And I always tease her. I'm like, you got more charges than me, girl, and you're 16. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. God love her. She's got an anger problem though. She's got an anger problem and she don't tolerate nothing. So, she got her first assault charge not long ago. So we're working on it.
I have one of those. Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah. It's getting better. I used to have the phone, like, just waiting for the school. Like, but she barely goes now. So I'm like,
yeah. Oh.
But, I get to be there. And I just sit and think, like, what if I was still out there using? Who would show up for her? I mean, I know grandma and grandpa would, but their health's not good. They, their health's not good. So let me think. Where am I at here? My brain's gone. I was like,
okay. You got your daughter back. She's 16. She's in her own legal issues.
Oh yeah.
You're a present mom.
Definitely a ride. I don't even know. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'm in a 12-step fellowship. The best thing that happened for me, I tried everything else. So that, I had nothing else to lose. So I started taking suggestions and listening and doing what, I got a sponsor. I went through the steps with her. And, then the time came to start working with another person.
Yeah.
And I used to think, like, I can't help nobody. Like, I don't have nothing to offer. And, the anxiety of it too is like, because I used to think, like, what if they go back out? What if they relapse? What if they, like, all these what ifs, and that stuff's happened. Girl, with women that I work with, like, that stuff happened. And I can say, knock on wood, since I've been in recovery, I ain't relapsed, and relapse is part of some people's stories. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for people that have, because, it scares the shit out of me. When I hear people talk about their relapses, I'm like, oh man, like, And I've had sponsees do it, and it's like my heart hurts, man. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Because they say it don't get better. I don't want to go try.
No, I always just left off where I fucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
And I was
sure.
pretty bad off when I left off, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually, you go right back to, running and gunning, and it's like you didn't miss a fucking beat at all. And
Or I try to substitute, like, as long as I don't do heroin.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
let's just do meth
Right.
and Xanax,
I know. Yep. People are always like, well, you don't even drink. And I'm like, no, bro.
No.
You don't even smoke a joint once in a while? And I'm like, no, bro. I know where it's going to go, because that ain't enough. That is not enough.
Nope. I should
Never
get
was.
started. My brain and that other little evil side of me saying, hey,
Absolutely.
what's a couple blocks away? You know what you can get? Let's go get it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
before you know it, I'm either drunk and shooting heroin or fitting
Yeah.
on methamphetamines and trying to
Yeah.
find Xanaxes if they even
Waking up in
exist.
jail and like waking up
Yeah.
somewhere and got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the I'm just like you. I cannot. I can't just drink. I can't just smoke some weed. I already know where that would go for me.
I'm not
And
testing the water. Like,
for me neither. I'm good. I am too happy. I have my days, and we all struggle. It's okay. Mental health is always going to be a part of our story till the day we die. You know what I mean? We're always going to be dealing with some issues, but girl, I'm telling you, like,
I'll take today's struggle over struggles any day.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I don't even think they're struggles today. I just think like problems.
Yeah. Issues.
And we have a solution. We have a solution to them today, though.
Yeah.
We can figure it out.
No, we're gonna sit down until we figure it out.
Girl, I'm always looking for solutions. I'm like, man, I know this is what's going on with me, but like now I got to figure out how I'm going to, help myself, right? Because I'm able to do that today, right?
Right.
So now we're on natural remedy kick.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
I don't
good.
know, man. Listen, we drank this like liquid fucking mustard last night. He's like, drink it, pussy. I'm like, I can't.
I drank the whole thing, and then we took
Oh
yeah, it had pepper, turmeric,
And milk.
and warm milk.
Oh, a little bit of honey.
And a little bit of honey.
It tasted like fucking mustard.
I don't know about that.
Well, listen. Well, I slept really good, but I got up still like really tired. But then we did this tablespoon of honey, or was it honey with cinnamon on it. And I woke up like, I don't know. I wasn't bloated. I wasn't like, I felt good, He's like, did you feel different?
Give me some energy. Like back in the day, I thought I was getting. Yeah. What I would do was like, bee! Give me some. It's not possible.
All
enough in the world.
Yeah.
I struggle to drink water. I drink maybe a bottle a week. Like,
it depends what season it is. If it's summertime, I chug that shit because I'm at work.
I have to put like flavor in it. I just
too much water is not good for you, they say.
I'm like, what is this shit? I don't want
it. Salt and lemon. Yeah, put salt and lemon in it.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt and some lemon.
I tried that.
Pretty much make your own saline. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
So where are you at today? Like, who are you and where are you at today?
So today, well, I got married in October, which I swear I'd never do. Still a little scary. Still a little scary, let me tell you. I might just say, you hear a lot of people talk about not getting in relationships in recovery for a while. And Travis will tell you the same thing. And I tell all my sponsees this, and they know why. Because I am very open about how our relationship was in the beginning. And
Yeah.
like I said, I've never been alone. You know, I never even fully got out of one relationship before I got into another one. I didn't take time to work on myself. I didn't, none of that. Like none of that. So I didn't even know who I was, and jumped straight headfirst into another relationship with someone
I
just
didn't
like
know
me.
how to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't know. I still don't. Like it's a work in progress. We're getting there.
Same. Yeah. We're
No,
a lot better at it.
Oh, there's days.
right. And you know, it's
Yeah.
and then you know, you throw a kid in the mix too when you don't even know how to be a parent, and like it just was crazy. And you know, a lot of things happened in the beginning of our relationship, you know, old behaviors, old things that, you know, just stuff.
Yeah.
And thank God that, you know, for forgiveness and, you know,
Mm.
communication and all those things, you know,
Yes.
because that's, and, you know, being honest, you know, and I'm still horrible at communication. I don't want to talk about shit. I just want to get mad and it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. You know, I still brush that shit under the rug. I'm horrible at it. I don't
Let
like to
me
talk about
be.
feelings.
Yeah.
I don't show emotion unless it's anger. I don't cry. If you see me crying, it's
Something's probably wrong.
you better run, or you know, once in a while somebody will jerk my heartstrings, or my kids, you know, seeing my kid upset, or
Yeah.
you know, sitting in the courtroom with her like, huh, she's going to jail, you know, that'll get me crying. But you know, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's still something that I work on, you know. I don't like feeling that shit. I don't want to feel it. It's all foreign, you know. And that's 6 years later. I don't want to feel that stuff. And you know, people used to say, like, welcome to recovery. You get your emotions. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I didn't have
Yeah.
none.
Hi, I'm sadness. You know what I mean? Besides
Yeah.
anger, you have sadness.
Right. So, you know, and then so yeah, my job, I'm now the store manager of. 6 months ago, I put my 2-week notice in. I got mad, got a resentment. My boss left and my assistant manager left, everybody left, and I was the only one there. And I was training somebody and they were making more money than me, and I'd been there for 4 years. Yeah, you know, all this poor me bullshit.
All the things. Yep.
And I thought, oh, well, you know, I'll apply at this at the hospital for housekeeping, and the pay was more, but it was like swing shift, and here come that misdemeanor charge popped back up, you know. They were like, oh, well, you'll have to reapply in about 4 months, you know, January or whatever. And so I just told my boss, I was like, oh, sorry, I'm coming back. Like that didn't work. Which is great. You know, the day I put my 2-week notice in, he was going to ask me if I wanted the assistant manager position. And I had already put my 2-week notice in. So that's like a funny haha moment. You know, God was like, oh, we'll show you, you know.
Yeah.
I got both
So I
raises that way.
yeah.
Yeah. Premature promotion I got at work.
So I don't know, about 6 months ago, my district manager was talking to me about being a store manager. I have been at my store since I started 6 years in April. It'll be actually on the 17th. So I was kind of nervous about taking another store because I've been comfortable in this store. I know this store. But I was going to do it. It's a higher volume store. I was going to try it. And I said, if I don't like it, then I'll just set, you know. So it worked out. My store manager took that store and I stayed at my store.
Oh.
Yeah. So far so good. I mean, ain't much different, you know. I'm salary now, not hourly, which is kind of, but
Yeah.
let's
Gotta
work.
Somebody
work
calls off, you gotta go in anyway.
Yeah. And I only live about 6 minutes away, so guess who gets called? All the time.
Yeah.
That's okay. I call them kids. My kids, they're young, but they work their butts off.
Mm.
I'm their work mom, most of them. But yeah, so married, got my kid back, my job, work in a fellowship, sponsor other women. Life's good. It's hard. I mean, I can't explain it. Like I don't deserve it, you know. I do because I put the work in. You know, and I thought like just because I quit drinking and using, like, whoop, that's good. That's it.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I. But like I said, you know, if I didn't have nothing to work on or work toward every day, like what would I do? You know, like what if I just like graduated and was like, oh, done. I don't think there's always room for improvement, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, always. And you just have to be willing to do it. I was so closed-minded and unwilling, like, God, forever. And, you know, the whole higher power thing was something that I really struggled with, probably up until just a couple years ago. Like I knew there was a God. I just tried to, like, I guess, pinpoint what kind or this or that. Like, instead of just being open-minded to, like, God is everywhere. God's in a lot of things. Like, God is in you guys. God is in me. God, you know, and Miss Stephanie, God love her. That's one thing that's one thing I love about that girl is her spirituality. I wish I was just like, she's just this like guru. God love her. I love it. And that's true. You know, your sponsees teach you just as much as you help them. You know, God. Yes, for sure. They'll teach you what not to do, but also teach you, you know, I learned so much from them. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it. So life's good today.
Yeah, it is. See, you did amazing.
Thank you. This is easy. This is a lot easier. This wasn't bad.
Right. It's just having a conversation, but you did amazing. Like, but how much like showing up for yourself today changed how you show up for others? Like how does that help you?
So hard for me to show up for myself sometimes, or to put myself first, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because my life's very, very chaotic still. Just with all kinds of stuff going on, you know, like I explained. But I wouldn't trade it for the world, you know, with my kid and stuff. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's all a learning process for her, me, Travis. We're all learning, you know, and that's how we grow. You know, that's how we grow. But you know, once I was able to actually like get sober for myself and do what I needed, you know, we can't pour from an empty cup. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to show it for ourselves in order to be able to be there for somebody else. So
that's true.
It's hard sometimes still though.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I get caught in the moment. Work this, like take a breather. Good God.
Sometimes it's not even just like it's just being able to react to it in the right way is is a thing sometimes, you know.
First thought wrong type shit.
Yeah.
And my brain is like still like go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still have that kind of brain that I did back then. It's like go, you know, work 11 hours. When I get home, I can't just sit down. I got to do the dishes, sweep the floor. You know what I mean? Like when I don't have to do those things, like I can go sit down. It's going to be them dishes will be there tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? But my brain's like, so that's something I've been working on. I have to work on like, just, it's fine. It's going to be fine.
Some you time.
Yeah.
Self-care. We need that in our lives.
It's hard.
It is, especially when you have a whole life and you have jobs and you know
it's hard.
Adulting sucks sometimes, guys. But
you know, because, you know, God first, recovery next, and then everything else, because without
Yeah.
those things, like, I wouldn't have nothing.
Yep.
And I have to know that, you know, like, and still today, like, you know, being powerless, like, I knew my life was unmanageable. I didn't know how powerless I was because I never tried to stop.
Yeah.
And still today, like, you know, I'm powerless over freaking everything except I react to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking hard reality for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. It's that
Yeah.
control. Like, we don't want to give up control and surrender. I didn't want to anyway.
Yeah, but the tough part about it was like I thought I had control of everything, and I didn't have control of shit.
Driving the bus around.
My control done left me back at the fucking, you know, very beginning of it whenever I thought I had control of me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Girl,
Yeah.
I left that shit way back there. But then when I finally, you know, it was probably one of the happiest moments of my life when I was able to make my first healthy decision for myself in recovery. And I'm like, hell yeah, I did that. I did that. Like, I didn't have nobody else's help. My brain told me I could do that on my own, right?
Fear is still
like telling me, like, authority figure or anything like that. But like, I did that, and it was probably the most empowering thing I had ever experienced. So, I can do that today, though.
Absolutely. That's something that I've had to work on too, is like, you know, fear. Like, fear of the unknown. Is this going to be good or bad? You know, good or bad? And I'm like, well, shit, you don't know unless you do it.
Yep. Like, worst case scenario. I'm a worst case scenario person. So.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Good God. Yeah.
Yeah, but we've made it through some shit, girl. So, you know, I have
for the ones that are out there suffering.
Yeah. Yep.
Many people out there suffering.
I think one of the biggest things I got from your story, though, is something I feel in my soul because I did it too. Nothing changed until I put action into who I wanted.
Absolutely. Because I remember, like, well, don't they see what I'm doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, my
validation.
My feet have to match my mouth. Like, my words aren't shit. They ain't been shit for years. Like, and you know, that's like today. Like, I watch people's feet.
Yeah.
I watch people's feet, and you know, and I'm sure people watch mine because my mouth has said a lot of shit, you know, over the years. Like, none of that shit meant nothing. Yep.
So if somebody is listening right now that is trying to get sober, but not for themselves, what would you want them to hear? Or what would you say to them?
You're trying to get sober for like somebody else, or
Yep.
Oh, good God.
Someone else, not themselves.
Shit, let me cap this water. Yeah.
I would say, well, I mean, it's hard, but you have to put yourself first. You have to, like, you know, the hardest thing for me was spending time with my kids before I went to treatment and leaving them again. But I knew if I didn't, like, I knew if I didn't put myself first and get well, like, well, you know, the same cycle. And you know, the time that I had left and went and stayed with my dad, I had to leave my kids again. And that shit sucks.
It does.
But like, if you don't show up for yourself, like, how are you going to show up for them? You know, and those kids love you. Your parent, you know, all them people love you. And kids are so freaking resilient, dude. Like,
they are.
Dude, I drug my kid through the mud. My kids, but you know, mainly this one. And you know, yeah, she has a lot of issues and you know, stuff like that. But that girl loves me no matter what. You know, and always has. They've always loved me, and that's all they ever wanted was me to be sober and be a mom.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. And you know, we don't see that when we're out there.
No,
we don't shit. So it's hard when you're out there trying to, you know, we're worthless, we're this, nobody loves us, you know, all these things, all the lies. It's what they
Yeah.
are. It's all.
Say
It's
it
our
yourself. Yeah.
It's our just talking. None of that shit's real. And once you get on this side of it, you know, but it's getting to this side. That's the hard part, is getting on the other side. And that's why, you know, we do these things. That's why we're here, and we reach our hand out for the people that are suffering in silence and don't know the way out.
Yeah. There you go. And she said it, y'all. And that's what she's doing.
Yep.
That's what she's doing.
I'm hurt like a motherfucker.
Like a motherfucker. Oh, you did amazing. And your story was amazing. Thank you for trusting us to share it with us on our platform with everybody that came to support you. You did. Girl,
I'm surprised I went as long as I did.
Yeah, it was more like 4.
I was like, I got 5 minutes. What do you mean? How is 8:20? It's 8:20.
Yeah, girl, you did good. You did good. And thank you.
I know I keep volunteering everybody. Stephanie got me. She messaged me and said, well, I asked somebody to do it Monday. If they can't, will you? And I said, like really long. I guess. And her response within 30 seconds was, well, I guess you're just going to do it. And I was like, did you even really ask anybody?
She did. She was talking to me too. And like, we were just messaging back and forth. And then she told me it was you. And I was like, yes. You know?
I know. I love that girl.
Finally. Well, we are so happy that you did. Your story was amazing. And if you ever need anything, reach out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We are here.
You guys are
and we appreciate your support also.
awesome. Yes.
Don't
Well,
forget that.
All of Athens.
All of Athens.
They always show up, man.
You guys always show up. That's all I'm going to say. We're just going to leave it there. We always say our Athens family, and we are still trying to figure out something to come up here and meet everybody.
Yeah, we can go to dinner. We love food. We all love food. Ain't no lie about that.
I love making food. No.
Oh, well, shoot. You can cook for us, girl. We can come to you. We can have us a cookout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, you gotta message me. See, guys, this is what recovery is all about. See, we gotta figure this out now.
I love food. So
yeah.
If food's involved, I'm down.
Yes, food. We said the word food, and that's it.
All we need is a grill, and we all got money these days, so we're good.
Yeah. We got a grill. We have a half-ass decent backyard. I mean, it's not huge, but
it's fine.
We can do this.
Yeah, we can go to a lake. We can go wherever.
Yeah, we can do it, guys.
We don't have no lake.
Everybody, all the Athens family, you need to comment if you guys are down to do this. Let us know.
I'll rally them up. Don't you worry.
You heard that? You heard that? You heard it here, guys, on Pages from Rock Bottom.
Airport van. We'll get us an airport van and we'll get us a doggy buggy and we'll be on our way.
I love it. Listen, you have to put like the side thing. You have to say the Athens family.
Addy van, as Travis calls it. The Addy van.
There you go.
Yeah,
all through town. They'll be like, it's a druggy buggy.
Yeah.
I know. I pulled into a church to speak a couple weeks ago, and everybody's like, "Oh, there's the druggy buggy." I was like, "We're in the right place, then, aren't we?"
Yes. That's
what I'm talking about.
Rhonda says she's all for the food. Oh, Rhonda, you are our Wednesday.
Yeah.
Our Wednesday guest, Miss Rhonda.
That's right, girl.
Well, Rhonda says she's coming, so we got to figure this out.
See, Brady's smoker.
Brady's coming. We know Stephanie's coming. They're both coming. Where's Ashley and Thomas? They got to come too.
We'll time to it. It's cool.
Yeah, we will figure this out. We will definitely figure. Me and Matt will do a weekend. We'll do this, guys.
Huh?
I have my own schedule at work, so I can just schedule a weekend off.
No.
Well, yeah, we got to know ahead of time because everybody has jobs, guys.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
heard it here first.
Goddamn adulting.
Don't.
Darn it.
Yes. Well, thank
We
you once
pay
again.
the bills. Well, we get to pay the bills, I guess, right? It's definitely a
Yeah.
good deal.
Yay! Rhonda said, "Yay!" Yes, Rhonda, we're gonna talk more about this making food and eating and coming and seeing each other. This is not talks, guys. This
We'll
is
come
real.
back Wednesday after your story, Rhonda, at the end of yours, and we'll have a plan.
Yeah. We're gonna figure something out. Something. All of us. We'll get this. I'm
Good
serious. We're gonna talk about this.
Really? We will.
All right, guys. You guys heard it here first. We're gonna be having a get together. She called it something, a potluck. What'd you say it was?
Sometime this summer.
It's gotta be summer.
For sure.
We don't know.
We don't know. We'll figure it
Me-
out. But you guys,
Maybe
Just
to
be
a
a
yard field. I don't know.
but we're doing it. We're
Yeah.
doing it. It's settled. We just pick a date and what food we're eating.
Well, y'all figure out your schedule because Travis gets weekends off. I think Brady and Stephanie do too. I know everybody's
we do
schedule.
too.
It's fine. See?
Okay.
And I do my own schedule, so I can just take a day off, take mine off.
Yeah.
And
On the airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Not
got this.
available.
Rhonda said she's going to start the food list. Yes, Rhonda, we will start a food list. Me and Stephanie will bake fresh bread.
yes. Stephanie made me a loaf of bread and it was so good.
So good. Nothing like fresh bread.
Yeah.
He
want
said, I
those.
gotta make so and so's first. And I said, oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You ain't making nobody's first. I want some bread. She brought it to work. God love her.
Yes. Oh man, you guys listen. This is awesome. Yeah,
We're
we
welcome.
definitely gotta plan this for sure. All right, guys. Wednesday with Miss Rhonda. We will be making a shirt. And do not forget, like the online store, this is the last month for the online store, and then all of it's moving to my house. So if you want a shirt, let me
Our house.
our house.
Uh-oh. Is that
Our house.
in there?
Yeah. But we will be making her shirt at the end of this episode, and then join us Wednesday with Miss Rhonda.
That's it.
And we got this, guys. All right, bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know how to turn it off. I guess they do.
It's a little
Hit the
area.
duck.
Hit the duck.
Hit the duck.
Hit the duck. Yes. All right, guys, and there you have it. Another episode of Pages from Rock Bottom. If you guys missed it, we will be uploading her episode to our YouTube podcast channel. Do not miss an episode, guys. Do not miss an episode.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Any custom shirt designs or anything you guys may want, just shoot us a message and we will make it happen, Captain.
Yeah, and we will get it to you.
Yep.
One way or
Oh, yeah.
another. I'm gonna find you. All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you guys Wednesday with Miss Rhonda Townsend. Why did I say townhouse? Do not
Townhouse crackers. Yeah.
with Miss Rhonda. We'll see you guys Wednesday.
Okay, bye.